Alrighty, it is Calxiyn and Hunter here. So if you guys enjoy this video, remember that you should become a Patreon, because with RWBY going on, like, hopefully we'll get some more theories, because now we've gone down to, like, the bottom of shit. Okay, so here's basically what I'm talking about, and it's basically if Whitley is actually good. And so
I feel like you're grasping at straws.
No. I have a reason, okay?
Okay.
So remember that scene when Whitley was like, "Hey RWBY, like Dad and I are going out into town. Do you need anything?" Like sort of like that, right? I think that was him giving her opportunity to escape. You know what I mean? Like, I thought because I thought that's when she was gonna do it. I thought she was like, oh, you know, Whitley gave me an out, I can go now. She didn't do that because her dad was home when she left, if you guys remember. But I think that was him trying to get her out in, like, a way that he wouldn't suspect, like, his father wouldn't suspect it, but also that he, like, could kind of make obvious, right? Because he was like, me and Dad are going out, and we're gonna be gone for a long time, because we're talking to a businessman. Do you want me to bring you anything? Like, that is when I thought she was gonna jump ship and she was gonna go. So, he didn't say it exactly like that, obviously.
I feel like it was more snide and condescending.
I know what you mean, like, it was kind of like, I'm going to go talk to a businessman. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he was trying to give her a way out. Like, I think that he was trying to be like, so yeah, me and Dad were leaving, so, you know, what, do you want something, Weiss? Because we all know what Weiss actually wants. She wants to get out, right? And so even though she didn't utilize it there, I think that that's kind of a strong contender for him not being as sneaky. Like, maybe he's three-faced, you know? Like,
three-faced.
That's what I mean. Is that
he is a triple agent.
Yeah, he's basically that he's a triple agent. Like, he's really on Weiss's side, but he looks like he's he looks like from the outside that he's on Weiss's side, but he's on Jacques' side, and then he's really on Weiss's side. Does that make any sense to anybody? And so, yeah, because then he says, after being kind to my big sister some sort of crime, then I suppose that I'm guilty. And, like, I think he says that after. That's an interesting quote, right? And so I think that, like, it was kind of like, hey, Weiss, I'm trying to be nice to you here. I'm trying to get you can leave while we're gone. But then Weiss was just like, nah, bitch. Like, I'm not having any of it, because there's, like, a couple other episodes before she actually escapes and does anything. We don't really know how she did that, though. Like, she got a secret terminal, but how did she get to the airship?
And also,
how did
Calxiyn
she sneak onto the airship?
Just knew about the clandestine secret tunnel.
People think that Calxiyn is actually a real Schnee.
Like, actual blood Schnee.
Relative, yes. And that's how we knew. Or something. Anyway,
presumably butlers would know a bit about the place that they were butlering.
Then somebody did a very good post on Tumblr about how Whitley is kind of motivating her to be angry, I guess, and I know
by
that
being a dick.
being a dick.
Yeah.
No, okay, so I'm gonna read you guys the post a little bit. A kid walks in on Weiss's training, mocks her a little, and then with fake hurt mentions he's here to do her a favor, right? He's going to the town to meet Jagloff's besties and mentions he's willing to pick up a few things. He says he's not stupid. Whitley may be a sneaky prick, but he isn't dumb. Weiss's training, furious at it, hates the whole family, and is done with their wealth and lifestyle, so what the fuck, why would she need anything? But Whitley knows this. He isn't legitimately asking her if she needs a favor, he is doing her a favor. And so, this person actually agrees with me. I didn't know that, because I hadn't read their entire post yet. So, me and Dad are not going to be home. We're in town. I'll be gone for a while. This is your chance. Get the fuck out. So that's kind of what he does. But she doesn't leave during that part, because we know that Jacques is talking to Ironwood, so she just didn't take it. He even further pushes it by humiliating her and asking her if what that training's all gonna do. He's not just mocking her, he's motivating her to leave, a bet in a super insensitive manner. This could go both ways, though. He could really dislike her and actually want her gone and be forewarning her, or he could actually care and feel bad and is giving her a chance to go.
It is a bit of a double-edged sword, that, like, attitudes that could be, I mean, is he being a dick to help, or is he being a dick to be a dick? I mean, it
Yeah.
really could be either or.
Because I think,
Lagging.
personally, I think, and that's kind of what they're talking about, is that I think it's more complex as a character for him to kind of be triple agenting. Like, to the world, he looks like that he's Weiss's, like, younger brother, that he's trying to help her, stuff like that. But then he's actually working with Jock, but then in working with Jock, he's actually trying to help the family, you know what I mean? And that even though he seems kind of robot-y sometimes, like, when he leans in and does that thing, it's not foolish to ask what father wants and his eyes get kind of big. Like, I think that that was supposed to be a hint of some sort to be like, hey, Weiss, I'm kind of trapped here, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like...
Fuck me, I can't get out.
It was kind of like if Hunter was like, if I was keeping Hunter in this basement, like a lot of you guys have suggested,
Like I have suggested
and Hunter goes up to my mom and is like, hey, it's not foolish to accept what Kaylin asks of us. Like, you know something is wrong there, you know what I mean? And so I feel like, again, if some of these situations were played out in real life, I don't think it would just be being a dick. I feel like it would be like, I'm being held hostage. Please save me. The end. Like, that's kind of what I think is happening here, is I think he was trying to help her, and I think that's way more complex for the development of this character, and so I enjoy that more. A lot of people just want him to be a dick, and, like, that's okay, but RWBY is all about presenting a trope or something like that, or a cliche, and then being like, ah, bitch, you thought. Like, you thought it was this, but it's actually this. You know what I mean?
Tricked you, bitch.
Exactly. RWBY's been very good at that with, like, some characters. Not all of them. We'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, I like this. That's kind of it. I don't know. What do you think about it?
I mean, it is kind of like, there's something called Poe's Law, which is that it basically states that parody of extremism and actual extremism are almost indistinguishable from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's sort of the same thing, but it's like, you know, faking being a dick and actually being a dick kind of look like the same thing to the person who's
like,
being a dick too.
It's a deeper...
Yeah, but it would be like, it would almost be out of total left field if Whitley was like, yeah, no, Whitley
I don't think it would be totally left field. We gotta kind of have a progression to this, so this is kind of how I see it ending, or I guess beginning. Whitley kills Jacques, okay? Yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah, you saw it, okay? Because he says that fighting is barbaric and stuff, but I think that that's also bullshit. I don't think he actually thinks that.
Up, like,
I think that he's just saying that because he hasn't honed his... Because he says, well, you were off to Beacon, I didn't stop growing, right? So that implies to me that he's actually kind of gotten better at his magic. He just, you know, doesn't want to do it. I think he's gonna kill the father, take over the throne, sort of thing, like, play nice for a while, and then, like, slowly reveal to Weiss that he was actually trying to help her this whole time. You know, like, how we think that, like, Peter was, like, gross, like, all the time. Littlefinger.
Port? Okay, Peter Baelish.
Peter Baelish in Game of Thrones.
Littlefinger.
Like, you know how we kind of thought that he was, like, a dick all the time and he was trying to fuck Sansa and, like, he was...
And he kind of was.
Yeah, but, you know what I mean? Like, in the end, he was kind of, like, they went in a poor direction of his character, but for that time, he was kind of genuine in his two-face-y-ness. You know what I mean? For a little bit. Then things got weird, but that's okay. But you understand what I mean, right? Is that with him, I think it's going to be a similar situation where it's kind of slowly revealed that he's not, maybe that he's lying, but he's kind of the third, like, side in this war, you know what I mean? Like, Weiss is a side, Jock's a side, the enemy of my enemy is a friend, I'm gonna kill our father, you can, like, hang around, I guess, and do whatever you want, but I'm taking the company, sort of thing. You know what I mean? I feel like it could also be a case of that, is that he's kind of working, like, a couple of angles here. He wants the company, he'll get rid of her father, like, Weiss doesn't need to worry about him anymore, but I want the company, you bitch. So that's kind of also where I can see it going. So Whitley still has some bad aspects to him, and he's still kind of villainous and kind of what you said, like that he still has bad things. You know, like that maybe he was just being a dick to be a dick, but I feel like it could also be both. Like, you know what I mean? So, yes, he was being a dick to be a dick. He was trying to help her, but it's because they have an interest in common, but that doesn't mean Weiss will get everything she wants. It's gonna be kind of a compromise there. So Whitley is gonna be like, yeah, I was just trying to do X to get you to do Y. I want this, but now you're free, so go do whatever you want, sort of thing. I could see it going in that direction, and Whitley kind of, like, being an anti-hero in a sense. If Weiss is the hero and then Jock is the villain, he is kind of the third party to be like, hey, like, I'm gonna give you half of what you wanted, maybe something that you didn't, and then you're gonna leave me alone. I think that could also be where it goes. So do you think, I think that's a bit more realistic than him being like, I was good the whole time. It could just be sort of like Raven, that Raven kind of has her own agenda and she's kind of playing both sides a little bit. Like, she's playing the Salem and she's playing the Ozpin, and then she just wants to do whatever she wants all by herself.
She just wants Salem time to Salem self.
Yeah. So do you agree with that? Do you think that these are all good?
It's
like,
entirely possible.
things? I feel like this is less of a theory because there's not really any evidence other than, like, kind of looking into his lines of dialogue. It's more of an idea brainstorm.
It would be definitely be a new characterization of Whitley. I almost call him Willy. Of Willy. because oftentimes, like, none of the Schnee siblings or Schnee family is seen as great, but usually Winter's being like, Winter's rough around the edges, but still, you know, a good person.
She okay.
So maybe you see, like, Winter get worse and Whitley get better. That's just another possibility. I kind of, like, at first I was like, nah, that's bullshit. But now I'm like, you know what? Yeah, okay, I can see this as being a thing that happened. Oh, I believe in the precise word.
Yeah. So that's it. Anyway, guys.
Pregnant pauses. This episode brought to you by Pregnant Pauses. Pregnant pauses.
Anyway, so yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and you guys should become Patreons, and you should join my Discord server. And that's basically it. I have nothing else to say, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.